nicer, and also we're gonna be need.
Jelek nggak sih? Nggak ada lagi kita
Being it for later episodes. I'm just gonna go on the Tailwind CSS website and go on the documentation. I'll have the link in the description, guys. Select play CDN and just copy the CDN link so we can do some simple styling. And to add it, we can go inside our welcome.blade and paste it here. That's all we need.
keramaian.
To do. And I have prepared some styling beforehand, just super simple stuff. If you don't care about the style, you can just ignore.
Di, kamar mandi dulu deh.
Our welcome.blade and paste it here. That's all we need to do. And I have prepared some styling beforehand, just super simple stuff. If you don't care about the style, you can just ignore this. And you can make the copy styling I have here. Basically, just add this class to your inputs and this to your button. And to add it, we can go inside our welcome.blade and paste it here. That's all we need to do. And I have prepared some styling beforehand, just super simple stuff. If you don't care about the style, you can just ignore this. And you can maybe copy styling I have here. Basically, just add this class to your inputs and this to your buttons. Okay, if you don't care about the style, you can just ignore this.
Kok bisa langsung berubah ya?
Takut banget. Do you think? Kebayang.
copy styling I have here. Basically, just add this class to your inputs and this to your buttons. Okay, if you don't care about the style, you can just ignore this part. Everything else is exactly identical to the previous episode. And if we reload the page, our form looks slightly better. Okay. All right. So how can we now add validation? Validation on Livewire is quite easy. It's somewhat similar to how you would do it in your controllers. With
Oh, Di, kerjain tugas, Di.
the difference is you can access your this or your component and then call in a validate method on it.
Validate.
Now, from here you have two options on how you want to validate your form or your properties. The first one is you can manually pass in the rules inside this array, and then, for example, say pass in the rules for everything you want to validate manually. So, for example, the first one is going to be name, so I'll pass in the rules here, and I'm going to say required, and then minimum of maybe 2 characters, and then maximum of maybe 50 characters, and then you can do the exact same thing for email. I'll make sure it's always required. It's a valid email, and then I'm also going to say unique users. This rule is used to make sure that there isn't an email with the same email in our database, and so that the
Apa dong? Apaan coba? Apaan?
Aja ketawa.
Yang bisa bergerak apa coba? Enggak benar.
email users entered is unique, and then I'll do the exact same thing for password, and I don't know, I just say it's required and should be minimum like 5 characters, something like that. Okay, so you can pass in your validation rule just like this. This is the first way, and in order to view your validation rules, first of all, let's actually see if this works or not. I'll reload the page and I'll so you can pass in your validation rule just like this. This is the first way, and in order to view your validation rules, first of all, let's actually see if this works or not. I'll reload the page and I'll create an empty, and I'm clicking on the form but nothing is being sent, so it is working. However, we can't really see the validation error, so let's go ahead and add those so we can see what is wrong, that our form is not being sent. And this is quite easy to do. This is exactly identical to how you would do it on regular Laravel application. You can use the error directive that comes with Laravel, and VS Code is giving me.
Sedih.
Auto suggestion. Instead of field, just basically give the name of your property that you're validating. So for us, it's name, and then inside is error, and in the error you can pass in what you want to show. Okay, so for me, I'm just gonna add span. I'll give it like a text danger, and I'll make the text small as well. Okay, something like this. And
Kefikra. X di mana sih? X yang kayak gini. Oh, ini X biasa apa? Kelihatan nggak? X biasa apa X yang
Mana?
ini nih?
X apa S?
X.
Teks ta?
Mm-mm.
Teks XS. Biasa.
X biasa itu.
Mm-mm.
Oh, thank you.
then in order to display the error message, we can just use a variable message. This message is injected by this error direct.
Coba.
So this will always be available. And now that we have that, we can basically copy paste it for every.
Car.
Every single one of our inputs, okay, and this one's going to be for password. Let me add some spacing here. So they're not all close together. So that's all we have to do to actually display the error. Very simple. This is exactly how you would do it on your Laravel applications, okay, without live wire. So let's go ahead and I'll click on it, and we can see that we are getting these errors. And I think this danger should be red. I don't know why I wrote danger.
Hah? Ini maksudnya apa? Di grup saja si Rasi. Tiba-tiba di grup saja maksudnya. Mana sih ibunya kak? Kak.
Ci, belum bikin link Medium, belum bikin artikel Medium. 3 hari. Ditagi itu, aneh. Medium dulu ih.
Yang di rumah Isu aja.
Second way, where instead of passing in the rules in an array, you can actually define them above
Sumpah, medium aku di mana ya? Gila, di HP satu lagi medium aku.
Ya kan itu kan.
your properties, okay? And this uses the new PHP 8.1
ya?
annotation
Gimana
Utama
kak,
feature
medium aku
that was
satu
added.
lagi.
So in order to create an annotation, we can do the
Kan
hashtag
pakai
sign
email itu kan.
followed by brackets, and then inside here we can pass in this set of annotations. And Livewire has its own rule annotation.
This is competition. Keutamaan bulan baca Al-Quran aja.
And VS Code is actually suggesting it to
Ya,
me.
ada deh
It's
mediumnya.
Livewire attributes, and then that's the rule class. And then inside this rule, you can pass in the exact same thing we had down there, right? So I can pass in, you can either pass in an array of rules or just a string using the
Kenapa sih kak? Aku kan cuma ya.
Dibilangin nggak
horizontal,
bisa.
vertical line, or pipe.
Google
Here
is
I can say
broken.
require. I also say minimum
Kan kalau yang
characters
ini
and
kan
maximum
dia kan
of
otomatis
exact
gitu ya
same thing.
translate kan.
We had maximum 50, sorry.
Kursornya kalau gua arahin dia
Email.
bakal translate.
Apa sih tulisannya kecil banget kak?
Iyalah, kan gua kecil.
Kalau jadi dua juga.
Kenapa sih sharing banget sama umur tuh nggak itu tahu pengaruh.
Pengaruh.
Agak aneh.
Pasti orang tuh
Apa
kalau
sih?
Kok Agus yang ditabok?
Jadi gua ketawa.
Aku tahu dong, ini yang ngejek.
pasti orang-orang tuh kalau di luar umur berapa 22 pasti udah langsung dianggap dewasa.
Ya terus kenapa gitu loh, kenapa? Terus gua harus apa?
Kenapa gitu? Kenapa?
Rumah iso, tentang apa ya punya? Utama
Iko.
puasa apa aja lah.
Di gua itu aneh.
Apaan sih lu bukan ngambil puasa apa ya?
And I'll save
Adel,
this
ini
email.
dulu artikel dulu.
Ntar aja, contek punya kapikra. Enggak.
Itu kan tanggal itunya di itu ketahuan. Ini nggak ada yang nulis lagi nih.
Unique. Users, and then for password, I'll just make sure it's unique, and I'll give it some minimum requirements. So this is the alternative.
Unique way. Users required email unique way. Users
Way of doing
ngapain Nam? Ngapain? Masak bola? Main bola. Oh iya, keren sih main bola.
Laptop semua.
Oh dong,
Iyalah.
kita kan rajin.
Nah,
annotation, sorry, validation. This is what I like. So I personally prefer this one. I think it's a bit cleaner, and you're not kind of adding unnecessary.
Butang link.
It's also very easy to see like every validation rule is just above it. So it's very nice. And so throughout the course I'm going to be using this new syntax instead of passive.
Kok tahu dua-duanya nggak ada?
And that's all you have to do. Basically just include this dot validate in your methods whenever you handle some sort of action. And Liver will go ahead and automatically do the validation for you. So let's go test this out and see if this new one also works. I'll submit create form. I'm still getting the error messages. As you can see, and let's go ahead and create a new user. I'll say test user 5 running out of names. User at youtube.com and then I'll give some random password. I'll click on create, and if I scroll down you can see we have test user 5. So that is it guys for validation.
Kok nggak bisa ya?
User 5 running out of unique names. User at youtube.com and then I'll give it some random password. I'll click on create, and if I scroll down you can see we have this is the alternative way of doing handling some sort of. And if I scroll down, you can see we have test user 5. So that is it, guys, for validation. It's quite easy.
Kemana ada lihat tuh ganteng-ganteng tuh orang
Follow
artis. Kita ini artis aku nunjukin artisnya. Ini lihat aku tuh dia dulu. Aku cuma nunjukin artisnya lihat nih
Iya,
tuh.
tapi tadi,
Tuh.
tapi tadi, coba
Lewat,
tadi.
lewat tadi tuh lewat.